Hello friends, welcome to Indispensable English. We learnt 8 parts of speech in the previous class briefly. Today we are going to learn the first one, that is noun and its kinds. I have given the link of last class video in the description. If you haven't watched it, you can watch the video. Now let us see noun. Every human, every animal, everything is given a name. A noun is a name of a person, place, thing, feeling, or an idea. Now here are some examples for each category. The first one, person, boy, teacher, collector, pilot, farmer. These are all examples of person. Then place, Taj Mahal, school, city, park, India. Then thing, camera, watch, shirt, pen, car. The last one, feeling or idea, anger, honesty, fear, joy, beauty. These are all examples of feeling or idea. So now we can understand that a noun is a name of a person, place, thing, feeling, or an idea. Now let us see some kinds of nouns. It is very interesting to know about some kinds of nouns which we use in our day-to-day life. Common noun, proper noun, collective noun, abstract noun, material noun, count and non-count nouns. Common noun. The title itself tells that these nouns will be commonly used. It refers to persons, places, and things in common. It represents a whole class of its kind. Example, I love my country. He is a brilliant boy. There are beautiful flowers in the garden. In the first sentence, country is an example of common noun. The second one, boy, is an example of common noun. The third one, flowers, is an example of common one because they are used in general, commonly used. These nouns are commonly used, so they are common nouns. Here are some more examples for common nouns: boy, girl, city, country, school, flower, day, month. Now let us see about proper noun. What is a proper noun? Proper noun refers to name of specific person, place or thing. A proper noun always begins with capital letter. So we can understand that a proper noun talks about a particular person, place or thing. Examples given here are India is my country. The second one, Ganesh likes ice cream. Third one, rose is my favorite flower. In the first sentence, India, it is a proper noun because it talks about a particular country, India. There are so many countries in the world, but we are talking about the particular country, India. In the second one, Ganesh is an example of proper noun because there are so many boys. Ganesh is name of a boy. So there are so many boys, but here we are talking about the particular boy, Ganesh. So it is a proper noun. In the third one, Rose is my favorite flower. Rose is an example of proper noun because there are so many flowers, but we are talking about one particular flower, rose. So it is a proper noun. So we can understand that proper noun refers to a specific or particular person, place or a thing. Here are some proper nouns: Ganesh, Cinderella, Chennai, India, Friday, May. Now, there are some examples given in the tabular column for common noun and proper noun. Now, in the first column, you can see the examples of common noun, boy. For boy, in the proper noun, you can see the particular name of a boy, Ganesh. So, common noun, boy is a commonly used word, but Ganesh is talked about a particular person. In the second one, city, there are so many cities, but in the proper noun, we can see the name of a particular city, Chennai. Then language, it is a common noun. There are so many languages we speak, but in the proper noun, you can see the particular language, English. Next, country, it is a common noun, but the proper noun, you can see the particular country, India. Then university, it is a common noun. There are so many universities in the world, but the particular university, Oxford, is used in proper noun as it is the name of a particular university, a specific university, Oxford, it is a proper noun. Then month, it is a common noun because there are 12 months. All these months together we call month as a common noun, but in proper noun we have specifically used a name of a particular month, January. So it is a proper noun. In all these proper nouns, you can notice one thing, one important thing, that is all the first letters in these proper nouns are capital letters. Ganesh, Chennai, English, India, Oxford, January. In all these words, all these proper nouns, we have used only capital letters. First letter, capital letters. So we have to always remember that we need to use first letter, capital letter for all proper nouns. Now let us come to the interesting noun, collective noun. The very name itself will tell you it is a collection. So it represents group of people, animal or thing. It is a collection of each kind. It helps us to make our communication more refined and elegant. Example, I bought a bucket of flowers. A team of players play cricket. In the first one, bucket, it is an example of collective noun. We cannot use group of flowers. It won't sound good. When you use group of flowers in a sentence, it won't look nice. It won't look beautiful. So, in order to make our language more refined and eloquent, more refined and elegant, we are using these collective nouns. So, I bought a bucket of flower. Next one, a team of players played cricket. Instead of group of players, we are using a team. Here are some collective nouns. A bunch of keys, a swarm of bees, a pair of shoes, a bundle of sticks, a fleet of cars, a flock of sheep. All these words for examples of collective nouns, they are referring to the group. A bunch of keys means group of keys. A swarm of bees means also group of bees. Like that, all these collective nouns indicate group of things. Now let us see the example of collective nouns. So now for students, you can use the collective noun class. For group of employees, you can use the word collective noun staff. For group of players, you have to use team. Then for group of cattle, herd. For group of puppies, litter. Group of musicians, we are using a collective noun band of musicians. For group of soldiers, battalion. For group of sheep, we are using the collective noun flock. Group of bananas, we can use bunch of bananas. Flock of sheep, battalion of soldiers. Like that, when we use these collective nouns in our day-to-day life, our language will be more beautiful and more effective. It will show some sort of scholarliness. Next one, let us see abstract noun. Abstract noun represents some quality, ideas, actions, emotions, beliefs which we can feel or think. They cannot be touched or counted. So, we can understand that these abstract nouns can be felt or thought only. They cannot be touched or counted. Here are some examples. Truth alone triumphs. Truth is only a quality. Can it be touched? Can it be counted? Can we tell truths? We can't tell truths. It cannot be counted. It doesn't have any numbers because it can't be touched or counted. It can be only felt. So, truth alone triumphs. In that first one, truth is an example of abstract noun. In the next one, knowledge is power. Knowledge, it is abstract noun. Money alone can't bring happiness. That happiness is an example of abstract noun. So, truth, knowledge and happiness, these three words in these sentences are examples of abstract noun. Here are some more examples for abstract nouns: happiness, anger, fear, charity, confidence, success. So, all the expressions, all the feelings which we express in our daily life are coming under the category abstract nouns. We will be happy. For that, we are using the abstract noun happiness. Many times we will be anger. Anger, for that we are using anger. So, these abstract nouns can't be touched or counted. They can be only felt or thought. Now let us see material noun. What is a material noun? It is nothing but it is a thing or substance from which things and metals are made. We can see and touch them. They are useful to make other things. Examples are given here. Gold is a valuable metal. Water is indispensable. Honey is sweet. So, gold, water and honey are examples of material nouns in these sentences. Here are some more examples for material nouns. Silk, wood, copper, cotton, silver, iron, cement. Now let us talk about the interesting nouns, count and non-count nouns. Count nouns can be otherwise called as countable nouns, and non-count nouns can otherwise be called as uncountable nouns. Let us see what are count nouns. Nouns that can be counted are called count nouns, such as book, bag, boy, tree, student, palace. It takes both singular and plural forms. The very name itself tells you that it will have both singular and plural forms because it can be counted. While a thing can be counted, certainly you should have plural forms, both singular and plural forms. The next one, non-count nouns. Nouns that cannot be counted are called non-count nouns, such as milk, juice, sugar, wind, electricity, jam. So it can otherwise be called as uncountable nouns. It always takes a singular verb because there is no plural form. So these non-count nouns, it will always take only a singular verb because there is no plural form. It cannot be counted. So there is no plural form for non-count nouns. It is very interesting topic. Countable and non-countable nouns is a very interesting topic because most of the people will make mistake in this countable and uncountable nouns while appearing for competitive exam. I will explain in another video in the description in detail about the common mistakes which we commit and how to rectify all these mistakes. Examples of count nouns, non-count nouns. Book, fan, boy, tree, flower. These are all examples of countable nouns. They can be counted. They will have both singular and plural forms. Book, books, fan, fans, boy, boys, tree, trees, flower, flowers. So they can be counted, so they are count nouns. Non-count nouns, coffee, rice, sand, sugar, electricity. In this, we cannot have plural forms. We cannot tell coffees, rices, sands, sugars, electricity. So, non-count nouns won't have plural forms, while count nouns have both singular and plural forms. Now let us see the overview of what we have learnt about nouns and its kinds. Noun, it is a name of a person, place or thing. அது தமிழில் நம்ம பெயர்ச்சொல் அப்படின்னு சொல்லலாம். Some kinds of nouns. Common noun. Common noun is used to refer persons, places and things in common. அது பொது பெயர்ச்சொல் அப்படின்னு நம்ம சொல்கிறோம். ப்ராப்பர் நவுன். ப்ராப்பர் நவுன் ரெஃபர்ஸ் டு நேம் ஆஃப் ஸ்பெசிஃபிக் பர்சன், பிளேஸ் ஆர் திங். இட் டாக்ஸ் அபவுட் பர்டிகுலர் நேம். அதனால் இதை தனி சிறப்பு பெயர் அப்படின்னு நம்ம தமிழில் சொல்கிறோம். நெக்ஸ்ட் ஒன், கலெக்டிவ் நவுன். கலெக்டிவ் நவுன்ஸ் ரெப்ரசன்ட் குரூப் ஆஃப் பீப்புள், அனிமல் ஆர் திங். இதை தமிழில் நம்ம கூட்டு பெயர்ச்சொல் அல்லது குழு பெயர்ச்சொல் அப்படின்னு நம்ம சொல்கிறோம். அப்ஸ்ட்ராக்ட் நவுன். அப்ஸ்ட்ராக்ட் நவுன்ஸ் ஆர் நேம் ஆஃப் சம் குவாலிட்டி, ஐடியாஸ், actions and emotions which we can feel or think. இந்த அப்ஸ்ட்ராக்ட் நவுனை நம்ம தமிழில் பண்பு பெயர்ச்சொல் அப்படின்னு நம்ம சொல்லலாம். மெட்டீரியல் நவுன். The material noun is nothing but a material or substance from which things are made. இதை நம்ம பொருட்பெயர்ச்சொல் அப்படின்னு நம்ம சொல்கிறோம். நெக்ஸ்ட் கவுண்ட் அண்ட் non-count nouns. Count nouns are countable nouns which can be counted. அதை எண்ணின் அடங்கும் பெயர் சொற்கள் அப்படின்னு தமிழில் சொல்கிறோம். non-count nouns uncountable noun. We can tell as uncountable nouns the nouns that cannot be counted. அது தமிழில் எண்ணின் அடங்காத பெயர் சொற்கள் அப்படின்னு நம்ம சொல்லலாம். If you have any doubt, please comment in comment box. Like, share, comment and subscribe to our channel. This much we have learnt about nouns and its kinds in this session. Hope you would have understood and enjoyed this session. Let us meet in the next session with more useful information in grammar. Thank you so much for watching.